was another ASMR guy, and he didn't whisper, he talked like this, although he was much better at it than I am. I gotta get it right. Maybe I'm too close to the microphone. So, question of the day. Soft-spoken ASMR. Better or worse than whispered ASMR? I think I like doing whispers better. But I think I'm going over the top with the bass. I don't think I could get as fired up about, because a lot of times I'll get really fired up. I think it's the mic is still too close. Maybe I need to scoot back. Also, am I pulling off the messy bun? I don't know. I did it for the first time today. Because if you didn't know, I have really long hair. Let me show you if I take it out. Oh, it's just a big knot right now. All the hair. So that's, yeah, just let it flow, all seductive like. I have a ton of hair. I saw on my Snapchat the other day, I haven't cut it in 3 years. It's been 3 years, like a week ago. So, okay, what do you think? The soft-spoken voice, I think I got the mic a good placement away now. Also got Brooklyn Nine-Nine going. So you can watch that with the sound off, like Bear does. Let me just refocus that camera just a little bit. So what do you think? Should I go with the soft-spoken? Should I go with the whisper? Should I do both? Obviously not in the same video, but maybe some soft-spoken videos and some whispered videos. I think the big thing is that I can't get as pumped up. Because if I get all gas, no brakes pumped up on soft-spoken, I'm going to just get louder and bigger. But I think if you whisper loudly, it doesn't get too loud. Maybe. So, something I was thinking about, because I saw his video and I was like, I'll bet you that isn't as straining on the voice as doing whisper videos. Even though I don't think it's, as long as I keep them, I think, under 20 minutes, I think it's not too bad. It's like when I do the hour ones, I could tell, like, it's probably going to get to me a little bit. And also, I think I have allergies or something, because I've just been, like, kind of, it's not sick, it's just, like, stuffy a little bit. So I think I have fall allergies now. So that's fun. Yeah. So, missed a video yesterday, because I met a lady on Tinder, and we had, like, a FaceTime date. Interestingly enough, her name is also Lauren. So now I'm potentially courting 2 different Laurens. So I feel like that's gonna blow up. She seems pretty cool. We talked for a couple hours, you know, just kind of general chit-chat, first date, get to know you stuff. Yeah. So there's that. That's why I was not around yesterday. Today's Halloween. I had nowhere to be. I don't really like going to parties on a normal day, but if I have an excuse like COVID, then I'm definitely not going to your party. So I'm also too old for that. Most of my friends have kids now, and they're living like the domestic life, so their parties are all like a lot of kids, and I'm like, I don't really want to be a part of that, although they probably do have better candy. And then I have other friends who are younger in their 20s, and their parties look way too wild, so I'm in this like weird, I'm like, can I have like grown-up parties where there's like 2 or 3 people and we like watch a movie and drink wine? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I feel like I have my extreme is like mature friends with the kids, or people that are still in like the party age, and I'm like, I don't really want to do either of those things. So yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I really don't have anything. I feel like nothing interesting has really happened. Started reading 2 new books. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the first one. Pretty good. And then I have an Audible. It's like a collection of Kurt Vonnegut graduation speeches. It's called If This Isn't Nice, What Is, I think. It's only like 2.5 hours long. I'm almost done with it. I'll probably finish it after I finish this video up while I'm editing. I think I only have like a half hour left. And then Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a classic. I think I've read the first 3, but that was like years ago, so now I'm reading the first one again. And I'm already laughing a lot on the first chapter, so I'll probably keep reading the series, especially now that I'm more of a reader. And I think I've bought the first 3. I don't think there's any good Audible versions of it, though. I do have like a bootleg of Douglas Adams reading it, but it's like one file. So it's like one 5-hour file, and I'm like, that seems hard to read. Because you have to like pause it and then write down where you're at, I guess. I don't know. That just seems like a hassle that I'm not going to do. That's why I like Audible. You know, it remembers where you are, and it doesn't interfere, and Audible's, you know, Amazon's got it figured out. As much as Jeff Bezos is, you know, kind of a gross dude, there's just there's no Amazon competitor, really. There's no serious one. At least not that I know of. So, till someone comes along, which I don't see that happening, seeing I don't think the book market is that big. Especially, I mean, the audiobook market probably isn't huge either. And Amazon has a huge head start. So, there's that. Anyway, but yeah, so those will be books, I think 30 and 31 for the year. I've read a lot of books this year. I'm trying to read 50. So I got 2 months left to read 50 books and watch like 180 movies. So, wait, no, I have to read 20 books, not 50 books. 20 books and like 180 movies if I want to like hit my goals. So I'm thinking, I think one of those is doable, you know? Like 20 books is, I think, easier than 180 movies. Even though, you know, the average book is 5 hours. What is that, 100 hours versus... Yeah, I guess that was a lot less hours, because the average movie's 2 hours. Yeah, probably 90 minutes, really. You're talking 180 of them. So even if you said 150 times 2 hours, it's 300 hours versus 20 times 5, you know, which is 100 hours, so... Yes, but movies are also easier to watch than books are to read. It's easier to be passive and put them on in the background. So there's that. But I don't know. I might go for both, you know, because the goal really isn't to get 100% so much as like the cumulative score. I think I talked about that the other day. You know, I have 10 goals right now for the year, and so it's like each one represents 10% of the total score. Although I am allowing overages. Like if I go over a goal, I'm counting, you know, if the goal's at like 150%, then I'm going to count that extra 50% towards the total, because why not? Who cares? You know, it's my arbitrary system. And I think I'm going to make a video about how I set my goals. I kind of talked about it a couple times, but I want to like have a formal video. And then I think I'll make a formal video for my other new channel. Because I think I want to talk about filmmaking and productivity, and like productivity through a filmmaker creative lens. So I think that might be interesting. Anyway, yeah, so those 2 goals. I'm behind on a couple other ones. I think I'm almost at like 60% for the year, which, you know, there's like 85% of the year's passed, so a little behind. But also there was a global pandemic, so, you know, you really couldn't prepare for that one when you set the goals. Anyway, yeah. I had a bunch of candy today, which is bad because I have diabetes and I probably shouldn't be eating 3 king-size candy bars, but it's Halloween, so I treated myself. I'm going to try to get back on, because tomorrow's November 1st, and I'm big on, like, fresh starts. So, like, it's new month, new me. Let's do it. all gas, no brakes. October is ending, so now we're nonstop November, and it's gonna be nonstop eating clean. I think eating clean. If I can get back to eating clean, and kind of rein in my spending, eating out, because I've been eating out a lot the last month. If I can get back to paying off my debts pretty good. Although I've been making some good money this last month or two, which is why I've been splurging on the snacks. So maybe I just need to be broke again. It makes me healthier. Because I need to be oh, I'm fasting. Which is also in my head, I'm yeah, but every time you fast a meal, that's money saved. So fasting is good for your wallet too. Because then you can, if you think about it in that way, you're okay, if my average meal cost is $2 a meal or whatever, when I'm not eating out, obviously, then if I, fast, if I do a 24 fasting, which is 20 hours off eating and 4 hours of eating, that means my one meal could be a $6 meal. And you're oh, what could you get with $6? It's you can get a lot healthier things. You could probably buy a steak for $6, maybe. Cheap steak. If you buy it in bulk, or something, you can buy a little higher end. Treat yourself. I'm also thinking I'm gonna do more protein shakes in November. So, because I've been worried about. I think that's my problem, is that I keep getting back on bigger meals because I'm I need protein because I'm working out more, which is true, but the meals I'm eating are not. I mean, yes, they are protein rich, but they're also not good for me in other ways, just as a delivery system for the protein. Eating oh, I gotta get these Popeyes chicken sandwiches, because to be fair, there is don't quote me on it, but I think in 2 sandwiches it's 100 grams of protein, or maybe it's 50. I don't remember. I have to look. I think it's more 100, because it's pretty big pieces of chicken, and chicken's usually pretty protein dense. So there's that. Yeah, so that's kind of the focus November, and I got some jobs already lined up, which is cool. And I have some jobs that owe me money. And the election's happening next week, so that'll be interesting. Whichever way it goes, it'll be interesting. And then after that, after the election's over, I'm going to get back into the stock market a little bit. I've got kind of a plan. I think I talked about it the other day. Doing the wheel investing strategy, where you take a good grip of money, and then you do what's called cash covered puts. So you're basically betting someone that the stock will not go down. And if you're right, either way, they give you money for that bet. And if you're right, you keep the money and you don't buy their shares at the price. And if you're wrong, you have to buy the shares at a higher price than what they would be selling for. So that person is basically buying insurance, and you are selling insurance to that person. So that's kind of how that works. And if you're wrong, then you have to buy their shares at the agreed upon price, called the strike price. And then you have 100 shares of the stock. So in the worst case scenario, you would be assigned these shares, and you would buy them for the agreed upon price. And then you could do what's called a covered call, where you basically play the other side of the game, where you are betting people that the stock won't go up, essentially. And so if you were, they're betting the stock will go up, so they're paying you money for that bet. So you get money coming and going. And if you end up having, if you're wrong on that bet on the other side, then you do have to sell the shares to that person at the agreed upon price. So if you have one stock, let's say, that you're selling the put against, and the strike price is $10. So you're buying 100 shares at $10 if it goes bad. And the price gets down to $9. You're still buying 100 shares at $10. So here's $1,000, and now you have $900 worth of stock. Then you sell the covered call for a strike price of, let's say, $11. And so you're collecting premiums, and then if the stock gets above $11, you sell. So you sell your $900 worth of stock for $1,100, plus any of the premiums you've collected on either side. So there's really no way to lose money unless the stock really crashes and just like sits. And even then, you'd have to sell the stock to realize that full loss. So that's the wheel strategy in a nutshell. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting out of breath when I'm talking. I don't know why that is. I think it's because I got the congestion. Because I still can taste things, so I don't think I have the COVID. And it's been like this for, a little bit now. And I feel like I'm remembering it. It feels like this is happening more often every fall, and I'm more aware of it. So I think I have like minor allergies to the fall, if that's a thing. Or maybe I'm allergic to one of my new plants that I just got, which is also possible, I suppose. Yeah, so anyway, I think I'm going to call it there. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're getting you interested in stocks, because like I said before, if I could impart one thing on people, it's that they need to start thinking about their financial future, and their most valuable asset is always time. And if you're not investing in the market or investing somehow, please consider it. It's gotten so easy with like phone apps like Robinhood, and like you could do partial shares now. Like it's just, it's so crazy. Like I wish these tools had existed when I was like 15, when I had my first job, because I would have been just dumping money into the market. My learning curve would have been so far ahead, and I think, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I think if I had started when I was 15, I think I could have played like the 2008 crash, and I probably could be a millionaire by now, not to my own horn, but like with what I've learned in the last kind of year of getting more interested in investing and how I knew I was back then, I think my financial situation would be a lot different. So that's my wisdom to you, because I think with COVID, with the election, I think we're seeing another one of those happen where stocks are going to be pretty low priced. And so if you're just getting started, this would be a really great time to essentially buy deals. Get in on some blue chip stocks that are underpriced, that have growth potential. Because like Apple right now is at like $100 some, because they just did a stock split, which is a whole other story. But like, man, if you could get in on some of these stocks, because Apple could grow to $1,000. If you bought $500 worth of Apple, 5 shares, it grew to $1,000. I mean, you'd have $5,000 worth of stock, and that's not something that's unrealistic to happen in the next 10 years. So think about it. Do your own research. Don't listen to me, But I think it's a really good time. I think it's always a good time. Even when the market's down, people still win. Consider it. Look into it. If you can take $10 a week, $20 a month, over time that adds up. So think about it. Hope you're doing well. Let me know down in the comments. Soft spoken. It's a good idea. My voice just cracked there. But yeah, should I do the soft-spoken thing, or should we go back to the whispers? Do you like the whispers, or do you like the soft-spoken? Or should I just do both? Do a little bit of one, a little bit of the other? Let me know. Drop a comment. I'll see you tomorrow for realsies.